Sorry I'm a little bit late. It's been kind of crazy. Yesterday was a day that I thought I could get done well, the day before I thought I could get done what do you call it? And I'm a hot mess. The projects for posting it for last night, and unfortunately that didn't happen. I thought maybe I would have also had some extra time yesterday during the daytime to kind of get them done. Yep, that was a day. It was a whole long day. And then, yep, it was get up this morning and get them done. And it seems like early in the morning when I try to figure it out, it goes slow, but then as it kind of gets closer to the time I need to go live, then that's when the ideas come. So, yeah, it I got them done. Now, it you saw the video thumbnail, so that picture is out there. The now I am having to clear my throat. Um, what else? So in the description there is the thumbnail. No, not thumbnails. There's the hashtags. There is the dimensions and the cardstock and paper and stuff for tonight's projects. Then I do have the links, that the other stuff that's in there about the product of the month and the last chance products, and the if you'd like a copy of the catalog, my newsletter, though that's another thing. Um, all of that stuff that's there. However, you're not going to see the list of supplies quite yet because I have to now go back and I have to do that part. So that's going to be once I'm done here, we're going to have dinner. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get the rest of the video description stuff done. I'm going to work on the PDF too. So the PDF, I'm going to work on getting that out there tonight. Hopefully I can get all this stuff done, get myself kind of like showered and everything else, because tomorrow we are going to have our sunrise service that's at 7 a.m., which means that we have to be out of here probably by about 6:30 in the morning. So that means, yeah, can't go to bed at 2 a.m., have to go to bed at a decent time. So it's a lot of stuff to kind of get done today. I know that I'll have tomorrow to do stuff in the afternoon, but yeah, there's other things that I want to also, there's a newsletter I got to do too, because evidently I thought that all the information that Stampin' Up would have came out with the new kits and all that, I thought it would have been like on a Tuesday, but they weren't going to do it on the last day of March, but instead they did it on Wednesday, April 1st. So I still have to kind of put that together. It's not too bad. I don't think there's any, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I kind of take what I used last month and then I just kind of shift a couple of things around that, may have some stuff that's new. I think I do have my video schedule already put out there that I did that on the last day of March, so that stuff's out there. So a few things that I just need to kind of get done for this particular video. So that's what I'm going to work on. And for tonight's projects, I have brought in like a few other stamp sets, and there's some coloring, and yeah, I think the cards kind of came out pretty cool. I did get the video thumbnail done, so that's out there so that you can get a peek at what the cards look like. And I think that's about it. So let me see who's here. I know I gotta trim this hair. I gotta do something with this hair. Oh goodness. It's supposed to storm here. I'm thinking, is it gonna happen like later tonight? I don't know. I mean, we did get some heavy rain a couple of hours ago, and I think it may be raining lately right now. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And hopefully, it don't get severe later on, and then we lose power, and then wow, that put a damper on things, wouldn't it? Let's see. Whew. So let's see, Becky. I saw that you were the first one on tonight as I was finishing to put things together, and I saw that, or actually, Yvonne went on there and she saw that you were on already. Let's see. And Sharon, yes, I saw your comment where you did come on last night. You thought that yeah, I had to change it. I just couldn't get the stuff done. Just couldn't get it done. It's like the story of my life. I can't get stuff done. I can't get it done on time. And I did add the link. Is that pinned at the top? It was supposed to be pinned at the top. Hold on. Is that thing not pinned at the top? Hold on. Okay, no. No, it says unpinned mess. Okay, so I guess I did pin it. So I did pin the link to that Google spreadsheet to add your name for to be in the drawing for one of tonight's cards. And Tracy, Sharon, Deborah, Carol, and Avery. Let's see. We missing somebody. I think my assistant needs to go and find out where Terry is.
On
it. That's what she says when I said, where's Yvonne? Let's see. Just kind of looking at. Okay, Deborah, you want to talk about kids growing up fast? My daughter's going to be 40 in October. I'm not old enough to have a 40-year-old. And then my granddaughter, she's going in June. She's going to be 19. Yep, they're growing up too fast. Too fast. All right, let me see. You see the nice hot mess behind me? Let me see what I got here as far as kind of like some announcements. There's really... okay. So I think what I am going to do, I am going to turn this around and yeah, and I think we will get started. Again, I had pre-stamped and die cut the images, and you can't even really see my funny ears too much. And so it's just a matter of coloring them in. Okay, so whew, yeah, don't we all
That's
feel
Terry.
old? That's Terry.
Yeah.
Did her husband pull her away? Let me turn this or flip this. Did he pull her away for something?
No.
No.
Her son did.
Oh, okay. Terry's a very busy woman. I don't know how she does it all. And speaking of Terry, how many days and hours is it going to be before she's here?
Oh gosh. What's today? Today's the 4th.
Yep.
22 minus 4, 18.
What is it?
18.
18 more days. And Terry will be here. While she is here, not that Friday that no, she's going to get here, I think, on a Wednesday. And we're not going to have a live that Friday night, but instead we're gonna do a live on Saturday. It'll be a little bit it'll be a little bit easier to do it. Wait a minute. Froggy says my SU demo used the wrong email for me and I wasn't able to get the product of the month for April. What do you mean, Froggy? Used the wrong email? That April product of the month is still available, right? I mean, it didn't go bye-bye, did it? I mean, this thing just came out. I guess I'm kind of confused how the email would be tied to that. Oh, okay. But okay, I guess I'm so confused. How was the email? I mean, what kind of role did the email play in it? And could not get into my account. Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, we still got April left, so who knows what could end up happening. Maybe there'd be some miracle and you'll be able to get the die. Um, but yeah, so April, this is the product of the month, the Eyelet Blooms die. So usually since product of the month started, it's been designer series paper or stamp set. This time it's kind of like this background type of die. Looking at the die, it looks like it just cuts into the cardstock or the foil. It doesn't look like it actually die cuts a rectangle, just these little pieces here. And then you can, I guess, snip these pieces out, and then you have some individual pieces as well. The March product of the month, the Notes of Spring stamp set. This is still available. At least the last time I checked, it's still available. Along with what was this from? This was, if that was March, this is February's, the Painted Illusions Designer Series paper. So even though it's April, if you do not get February's or March's, you do have the option that you can choose, the older ones. If if you didn't, it's like if you want the other stuff, then it would be like it's like a $75 order. You know, was it after your stamp and rewards have been applied and before the tax and shipping is added to it. Uh, Last chance products, the last chance list has been updated as of April 1st. So there's quite a bit that's on there. A couple of things I was kind of surprised to see on there, as far as the what's still available. Again, I didn't get a chance to look at this today. Be mindful that if you see a bundle of, like say a set of dies and a stamp set, um, look to see, and you see that on the last chance, take a peek to see just the individual stamp set and the set of dies, because a lot of times they'll discount both of them. And when you add up what that discounted price, it could be less than what the actual bundle price will end up being. So that way, save yourself some money on that. The paper pumpkin, let's see, today is April 4th. So the kit for April is the Lakeside Retreat. This is the one that's going to coordinate with the Waterside Retreat Suite Collection that's going to be in the upcoming May through August catalog. Uh, yeah, so it's going to coordinate with that. And then the last day to subscribe to this for this kit, or if you want to pause it, or if you want to do an additional kit, it's April 10th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time for this one. After it hits midnight, and it's technically April 11th, then the subscription period is going to open up for the May kit, which is going to be the sparkling celebrations. And as far as I know, the coordinating dies, they are still available. It's item number 168665. You do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to purchase these. And these can be found in the online store under Paper Pumpkin kits, add-ons, and refills, or refills and add-ons. Let's see. We got a lot going in the chat. Okay. Um, it sounds like what Froggy's saying is that let's see, she gave her order to her demo a while ago, and she went and ordered it for me, plus some stuff for the class on the 18th. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sue Campfield's $1 million set. That just came, that's just coming out in this
Isn't it
new
this one?
catalog. What?
Isn't this Sue's Campfield?
No.
Oh.
And you would see the
I know they're all-
you would see the gold hexagon on there.
Okay.
No, I think was hers a greeting?
Yeah, they're all greetings.
Yeah, it's just sentiments. I don't think I can. Hold on. Do, 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 do. Nope, 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 nope. Do, 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 do. Yeah, if you visit the Stampin' Up website, you may have noticed that on April 1st, they had what do you call it? They had, hold on, what am I looking for? Let me see if I could do it this way. They kind of changed it. Okay, so her $1 million stamp set is called phrases and frames, and so the stamp sets all those greetings, but it does have a set of dies to go with it. And these are the dies that you can use with the new, it's a new mat that will be coming out in May. And I think is it when you die cut it and then you put it through again with I think it's like a rubber mat or something. What it does, it kind of takes those parts that are cut out from the die, and it kind of embosses it, but it kind of, I don't know. I don't have it to try it out, but it's like it embosses it, and it really has a deep embossing to it. from what I saw in the videos anyway. But yeah, phrases and frames. That's the name of her $1 million set. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's get started here. All right. So I have my little cheat sheet over here. This is kind of out of what I have in the description. Um, so that way I know what my dimensions are. And again, once I am done with my live and I've had dinner, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on getting the rest of the description stuff done. And then I'm going to also work on the PDF, kind of get that done and get that out of there. And two, my newsletter, it is coming. So if you are signed up for it, hopefully tomorrow, the latest, I will have it emailed out in the afternoon. Okay, so again, there's some things that I did ahead of time to save a bit of time. So all of my card bases are going to be the same. They're all going to be basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a layer. This is basic black, measuring 5 1/4 by 4, and then a piece of basic white that's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have some scraps here. So out of basic white, I die cut. This is the largest stylish shapes circle. Let's see. I stamped the church in basic black. Well, in Memento black ink. We're going to color this in. Then there's like a detailed die in the set for the door. So, oh, I got ink on me. So I die cut one in white and then another one in black. So the trim that would be around the door, I'm going to cut that off of the black piece and I'm going to adhere that to the white. Then there's also a die in there to do this roof part here on the church. So I got that. There's an itty bitty 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 tiny black cross. There's two little dies to do little bushes. So I cut out two of them out of lemon lime twist cardstock. And then there are three different clouds that are in the set of dies. And these were die cut out of basic white. All right. So let's start and by folding and burnishing this card base. Yeah, that's the thing when you only got a limit of just one. But I would think that maybe, I mean, since you had placed the order, I mean, you qualified for it, so I don't know, maybe stamp, what do you call it? Who is it? Demonstrator support may be able to help out. All right. Then I'm going to take my piece of basic white. I'm going to bring in a Stampin' Pierce mat. I got stuff all over the place in here. Oof, okay. Then for this one, first we got our black ink. Basically, I was going for a black and white card with a pop of color. So on here, okay, first off, I didn't even show you exactly what we're using. The Blessed Beginnings bundle. So you have your church image, you do have a stamp with a cross, you got your little bush, you got your tree, and then kind of like, I guess, the shadow that you could probably put down here on the ground in front of the church. So you can use this for Easter, baptism, and wedding. Now on this, I actually did not use this Easter greeting on here. I actually went with the blessings on one of the cards. Then there's the set of dies. So there are some detailed of the bushes, the larger bushes and the smaller ones. Then you got your clouds. There's the the cross kind of is part of the same die as the detailed door, and then there's another cross die that will die cut the stamped cross, and then you have your larger tree and your stamped bush die in there. And so that's what we're using. But for my greeting on this, this is this is a stamp set. Actually, this is actually a $1 million sales achiever stamp set. This is was a Carol Nordquist. This is her stamp set, Prayers and Promises. So on this card, I am using the peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, John 14:27. So I'm going to go with that one on this card. And let's see, it's this one right here. So is everybody like ready for Easter? There's not much for me to get ready for Easter. I don't have any little ones here. It's just a matter of getting my butt up early in the morning to get to church on time. Because last year when we did the sunrise service, yeah, this one over here, her and her husband were there before I was. How bad is it? They don't really go to my church. They go to another Calvary chapel, and they were there before me. But yeah, it was what was it? The outdoor, I mean, last year it was like perfect. I mean, temperature wise, it was great. Yes, it was sunny, and there was a nice breeze. And the plan is to do that again this year. However, he did mention last night that if it was raining, well, either way, it's still going to go on, rain or shine. If it's raining, then it's going to be indoors. And if it's not, it'll be outdoors. Now, I don't know if, the area that he had set up, my pastor had set up last year, is going to be the same spot, but we got this heavy rain today and we probably get more later. So I don't know if it's still going to happen or not, but it's actually supposed to be considerably cooler out. And of course, I saw what Yvonne's wearing. Well, she does walk around wearing shorts outside when it's cold out, and I keep saying something to her. So, I mean, it shouldn't bother her, right? So, we'll see what happens. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna double dip. I'm gonna stick around, and then we'll have a service at our normal 10 a.m. service indoors. So that's the plan. It's just the getting up, you know, in time and getting there on time. Okay, so my white basic white piece here, my layer, I stamped it again in the Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I stamped it in the lower right hand corner. I'm going to put that aside. Then I'm going to bring in my stylish shaped circle, and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending, and I'm going to bring in Berry Burst, and I have over here a little blending brush. Let me grab, not that I'm going to be going outside of that circle with my ink blending, but I'm going to put a piece of paper under it just in case. Get my ink. And then we're going to come in, and I'm just going to add some right in the middle. Now, one of the cards that, I think it's the last card that I'm doing, there was a stamp that I used that I thought would be perfect. However, when I inked it up and I stamped it, when you see this here, it looks like it's a bright color. When I stamped it, it did not look so bright. It looked kind of dull. So I want this bright circle here in the background. I don't want to fill in the whole thing. I still want to have that white space because this is going to kind of sit right there, so that's good. All right. So we'll put that aside. And put our ink pad back. Then, actually, come back here with that. We're going to do some coloring. So, for this church, I am bringing in a light basic black. I got my color lifter. Let's break it. We don't want break it. I have dark and light smoky slate, and then there's a bunch of colors that I am going to bring in we're going to make stained glass windows on our church. All right, so I want my, what do I want? My light basic black. And I'm going to do my roof parts in this black. I think it's raining again. Sounds like it's hitting the window. Okay, so we got this roof. And then this, I'm going to do this too, even though I'm going to glue that roof piece right over this. And then oh, what did I do? Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. I just thought of something. Just thought of something. Just thought of something. I got a card in the mail. Oh. And it came yesterday, and how festive how festive is that envelope? Very colorful. It came from Deborah. So it's raining in Ohio. Yeah, I think we're getting the same weather. Yeah, the storms, I don't know. Inika, welcome back. Oh, sweet bunny. It's an Easter card from Deborah. I just realized, because I asked, did anybody do cards? I really didn't do any cards to mail out. Kind of ran out of time. But yeah, I realized, oh yeah, I did get a card from Deborah. Very cute, and I think I got everything. I know I got that bunny. I know I got that stamp set. But very cute. Very, very cute. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you, thank you. All right. Where was I? So I colored in my roof using the light basic black. I'm going to take my light smoky slate. And I'm going to kind of add a little bit of a shadow right here. Let's see, I could, where else did I add it? Right over here, 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 here. I'm looking at my sample card, and what was it? This was light, right? Yeah, so color in this part. Okay, so we got that. Oh, what I do want to do, I want to take my light black and I'm going to do this door frame. Even though I have a piece that I'm going to cut and I'm going to put on here. I'm just going to do that. Okay, then I'm going to take my dark smoky slate and add some there. Then I'm going to take my color lifter. Now sometimes my color lifter is a little watery. I'm just going to go over my light smoky slate just to lighten that up some. Okay. Then we're gonna give our church some stained glass windows. So I have light berry burst. I have light real red. Let's see. I have light darling duckling. What is this? Light lemon lime twist. And some light blueberry bushel. So I'm going to just take the bullet tip and I'm just going to hold it down for a moment and just add some random dots in my windows. Okay. Two, one. Yvonne's cutting paper. I don't know if you can hear that or not. She went into the other room. All right. Now I got my light lemon lime twist. Now, the reason why I went with the lighter shades is because it's supposed to look like the lights are on inside. Up here. Just add a couple. And I like this so much that we're also doing this on the next card too. Okay. And then let's get Berry Burst. One down here, right there. And then I'll come back with my light Darling Duckling and kind of fill in like any of these white spots. Like so. Okay, I'm going to leave those out because we're going to be using that on our next card. All right, so now I want to kind of build up some of these more detailed die cuts. I want to adhere these on, so I want to bring in some liquid glue. And since this is going to go right over, I'm just going to add a really thin line of glue on my roof. And place that down like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little drop of glue and put it right there. Now this cross is extremely tiny, so I'm going to use my take your pick tool. Let me make sure I got it in the right direction. And let's see, let's pick this up. And we'll place it down. I'll press that down in the glue. Okay, there's a little bit that oozed out. I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to end up shifting that. Okay, and then for my door, so the way that this is die cut, I am going to take my scissors. Which ones? And because of the way it's cut, I'm going to just kind of snip in these couple of little spots to separate this outer frame because this is the full size of the door. So I want my trim to be black, but I want my door to be white. So I'm just going to do just a little snip. Try and do a little snip. Just one little snip. Okay, did I get it? Just one little spot. Okay. So we don't need that inner part. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet to make it a little bit easier. I still got glue on that. To make it a little bit easier to put that on there. So I'm going to add a couple little dots. All right. And these little excess pieces on here. that guy's air conditioner still on?
Mhm.
Dang. I hate to think of what his utility bill looks like. Yeah, the air conditioning unit to upstairs is like right outside my bedroom window. And so, of course, when it kicks on, it's very annoying because it's noisy. And then the line for his AC unit outside to go upstairs runs through the closet in which my furnace and water heater are sitting. So, of course, I hear it down here every time it's running, and it just seems like it's always running. When we had a storm and it dropped the temps that night, what was it, 38, but it felt like 29. I kid you not, that AC unit kicked on. It's like I mean, what are you setting that thermostat at? That's insane. Insane. All right, back to my card. So then I'm going to take my door, add a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to add my door right over the top of that stamped one like so. There we go. So there is our church. All right, now I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to adhere it down to my piece of basic black. And there's just going to be this little border. Let's get the glue goober off of there. Okay, and then this is going to go onto my card base. Let's not go off the cardstock. And we'll center that. Okay, and then this piece that we had ink blended, I'm going to add, I'll use glue on this. I am going to glue that down right over here. Okay. Was it Becky said just now able to get the video? All I could see was the conversations. Oh, that's, I wonder if it had anything to do with that you were the first one. Maybe you just had to refresh it. Because the one thing that I do know is like I've seen with other demonstrators that if I go to watch their live, maybe, you're waiting for them. And then it's like you actually have to refresh your screen in order to see, oh, it's already started. And of course, before you're actually seeing the video, you're watching an ad. You gotta love the ads. All right, so my large cloud, I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Now, the way this die cuts this, there are little slits in this, so I don't want to add too much where it's going to ooze out. And I'm going to take my larger cloud and I'm going to place that right there. For this bundle, there weren't really a whole lot of samples out there with this bundle on Pinterest. And so I'm kind of taking a concept of what I saw somebody else had done and I kind of changed it up. Again, there's nothing wrong with casing. Um, I always do more or less like copy and selectively edit. So I'm not doing exactly what they have done. Let's see. Put this one right here. I kind of change it up a bit. And then there's one more cloud that's really, really thin. I'm going to place that one right up here. Okay, and then for my church, I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. So I got a tiny one here I'm going to put up near the top of the steeple to kind of hold that down. And then oh, looks like it's focusing in and out a little bit. Okay. Press that all down. All right. And then I'm going to take my church and I'm going to place it right here. So I'm covering the bottom part of my circle. So we kind of have our sky in the background with our clouds. And then these two little lemon lime twist bushes, I am going to get my little dimensionals. And actually, I am going to place them like right next to my church. And then these are going to go right on top, overlapping my church just a little bit. And place that one right there. Now, of course, we got to add some bling. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clear Wink Estella and I'm going to add this over my windows. And right up here. Okay, and then for more bling on this, for this one, I'm going to bring in my rhinestone basic jewels. With these, you get a whole lot of these little tiny ones. So I want to use some of these up. So I've been using the small ones on most of my cards. So I'm going to add one right over here behind the church. And then I'll add two more right there. All right, so let me get that out of the way. And there is our first card. And again, I went with a different greeting than what's in the stamp set. This is, again, the Prayers and Promises stamp set. This is a $1 Million Sales Achiever stamp set from Carol Nordquist. So there's our first one. Okay, on to the second. All right, these things I gotta make sure I can't take things and I can't put it away as I go because I need to link everything through. These are my stamps and make sure that I don't miss anything on, the description with the list of supplies. Okay, so let me kind of move some stuff here, close up the glue until we need it again. And then let me bring in my second card. So this second card, unfortunately, I don't remember who it was that made it. It was something that I saw on Pinterest. The concept of this card, um, she had done the windows as stained glass, so I kind of liked how that looked. So that's why I incorporated not only in this card, but the first one that I did. And for, let me see, for this one, I also changed it up a little bit. Again, you know, I'll use like a different embossing folder. I'll do something that's different, that kind of, you know, makes it my own. So again, the card base is basic white thick. I have a piece of pecan pie that measures 5¼ by 4, and I had embossed it using the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. Now, I don't know if this is, what do you call it? If this, is this on the last chance list? That's what I'm trying to spit out, but I can't get the words out. Because words, you know, when you're recording, words are hard. They're just hard, just like math. Actually, no, it's not on the last chance, so still available. Yay! Something I'm using that's still available and didn't go away. Yeah, so 5¼ by 4, embossed it ahead of time. Then I have a piece of basic white that measures 4¾ by 3½. And then out of some scrap white, and I got glue goober stuck to my fingers. Now the church, the tree, and the bush all are stamped using early espresso ink. So what I did when it came to trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the cards with this bundle, I had taken, I stamped like one set in the black ink, one in early espresso, and then the first card that we did, no, the first one we did was in the black ink. This one is in the early espresso, and then the last card that I'll be doing is in the basic gray. So I basically stamped these pieces and I die cut them, and then it's like, okay, I colored them to kind of see what do I want to do, and then from there I kind of built what was going to be the rest of the card. So I'm going to take my card base, I'm going to fold and burnish this, and get this. Okay, and then I'm going to get some scrap paper. I'll use this one here. And then I want to kind of keep it away from that ink. And I'm going to bring in Pecan Pie. Well, of course, it's all the way on the bottom. Pecan Pie ink. And then I do have a blending brush. And you're only going to see a little bit of the outer edge of this. So I'm just going to add some ink around the edges. Some spots will look a little darker than others. Whoa, that's really dark. Didn't want to go that dark. Okay, that's good. We don't need much. All right. Let me do this. I apologize for the shaking. Just get some excess ink just in case I don't want to get it all over my fingers. All right, then I'm going to glue this down to my card base. And this is like very detailed. Don't want to drop it. All right, card base. And center that. Okay, there we go. Now for this piece, we're going to be doing some ink blending on it. And we're also going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'll pull this piece out. I have, let's see, I got a blending brush for my green ink. And I'm going to bring in Granny Apple Green for my grass and Balmy Blue for my sky. So I'm going to just turn it this way. I want to get my Granny Apple Green. Ink this up. And I'm going to add some on the bottom here. Not too much. Don't want to go too high. Okay. And then I'm going to leave that out because I am going to use this again. And I'll pull in. Let me go back to the video instead of being, you know, on the Stampin' Up website. I'm just looking at comments. Okay, so Sharon says, I did it with arches and a tie. Only made 4 for my more church-going friends. I cased it as I am not a great designer. You are right, Carla. Was not many. You know what? The last card that I'm doing, I did use the arches. And she loves the design. We'll use next year for a christening or wedding. Let's see. Yeah, there was other stamp sets that had like smaller churches, that had a smaller church in it. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I saw that sample. As a matter of fact, last night Yvonne was helping me by, you know, looking on Pinterest too, and yeah, she saw one. I'm like, no. It's a winter scene. We're not doing winter scenes. No, we don't want snow. No snow. All right. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Squirrel. All right. So I'm going to flip this around because when I go to ink this, I don't want to end up picking up any of the ink that's on the paper. So Balmy Blue, this is going to be our sky. So I'm going to just randomly do this. Now, if you're not like really like, how do I want to describe this? Being like perfect on trying to just get the whole thing filled in, it can look like clouds in your background just by leaving like some lighter spots or maybe even like a little white in that spot. Which I think that looks good. So there's our sky, there's our grass, but we're not done with our grass part yet. So let me close up my Balmy Blue. And then another stamp set that I'm going to bring in. I was trying to figure out what to do for grass. And the sample card that I saw that this kind of inspired, she had taken a Stampin' Blend and she did the little flick marks to create the blades of grass. And I don't know, I practiced and I didn't really like how it was coming out. So I looked through my stash of stamps to see what I had. Now this one, I'm trying to think, do I have this one set up for this month or not? But it's called Swirl Designs. And I think this is on the last chance list, even though I feel like this has just come out. I think it's already, but again, if there's a bundle that's, yes, actually Swirl Designs is on the last chance list. So, so the bundle price of this is here, well, of course, these amounts are here in the US, is $42.25. The stamp set is not marked down, it's 19, and then the dies that go to this have been marked down to $22.40. So in this case, let's see, 20, 42, 41, 40. So in this case, if you bought the stamp set and the dies separately, you're going to save like $1 something on it. Sometimes it's marked, the individual components are marked down and it'll be less than the bundle price. So if you see a bundle that you like that is going on last chance, see if the individual components are marked down where it's going to be actually cheaper than getting it as a bundle. So I saw this bundle and I really wanted to get it. I haven't used it yet except for doing this card. And I thought that this one particular image here, that's not the stamp set. This one right here, if you turn it this way, it could be like blades of grass. At least that's how I looked at it. So let me grab that stamp and let me get my block. And I think I used this end here. So I'm going to ink this up, turn my card, and I'm just going to add some lines across what I ink blended. Again, I ink blended with Granny Apple Green, and then I'm stamping these with Granny Apple. Now, the first sample one that I went to make use of this card, I had used Garden Green on the grass, but then when it came to the trees, I colored them in with the light and dark Granny Apple Green, and I don't know, it just looked too dark. It didn't look, bright and springy-like. So I redid it using, let me just clean my stamp. Because I think, am I using, no, I'm not using this. My chamois looks like a hot mess. And if you didn't notice this, the Stampin' Scrub, that's actually on the last chance list. It's marked down a little bit, so I'm really surprised that they're retiring that. All right, so here is kind of like my background. I am going to pull out, where is it? So the stamp that says blessings, I'm going to pull that one out. I'm going to stamp with that one. And I'm going to stamp this in early espresso ink. Again, let's find the ink pad. And open that up. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. And let's see. Pull that stamp off. Our blessings. Ink it up. And then I'm going to stamp this in the upper right-hand corner. And hopefully I can get it straight. I like that font. Yeah, we're not gonna do no winter. No. Nah. So there is kind of like my background piece. All right, so now we're gonna do some coloring. I'm gonna bring this paper back in. I'm gonna use this to put under my pieces. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside for a moment. All right, so for my tree and my bush, I'm gonna bring in the light and dark Granny Apple Green. And let's see, light and dark. And okay, I don't know if yours are like this, if you have the Stampin' Blends. So there are some, like I find like the yellows have a really strong alcohol smell to them. But I swear, my light Granny Apple Green does not smell like alcohol. It actually smells like apple. It's weird, but yeah, it doesn't have that strong alcohol smell, and it doesn't smell like an alcohol marker. All right, so just a quick coloring in. Do the same thing. A little bush. Okay. And then I'm going to do, let's see, what did I do that in? I think I did that in my deep number 200. Do the trunk of my tree. And those branches, might as well leave that out because I am going to need that again. Then I'm going to come in with my dark, let's see what, ooh, that tip looks nasty. With my dark Granny Apple Green, and then I'm just going to just add some in there. I'll do the same with my bush. All right, so that's that. All right, so now I know that I brought in a lot of browns. I actually did this card last night. So let me pull in the browns that I have in here. In addition, I'm going to bring in my light and dark gray granite as well. All right. Let's see. Let me get this stamp clean. I don't want ink on anything. All right, so I'm going to take these. I'm going to set those aside. Let's bring in our church, and now we're going to color in our church. So on this, I definitely did some ink blending on this. So what else do I need? I need my dark Darling Duckling. I'm going to do this window right up at the top here. I swear when I color with this color, it's almost resembling the dark or the light wild wheat. All right, put that in there. My roof, let's see, the roof, I'm going to take my deep number 200 and I'm going to do this roof here. And then I'm going to add some of this dark. Okay, you know what? Seriously, that AC I don't think has shut off. And it's still running. Oh my word. which means there's probably something wrong with it. And I'm going to do this frame. Again, I would hate to see what his bill's going to be. And the thing is, I don't think they're home because I don't hear them up there. Because you know they'd be in this room and they'd be walking around, squeaking the ceiling above me, sounding like they're going to come through the ceiling. Okay, so I'm kind of taking my deep number 200 and I'm kind of adding my shadows on either side of my roof pieces here. Okay, and I think that's good. I'm gonna let that, well, no, we won't let it dry. We'll go ahead and we'll color. Let's see, what did I use? Did I use light? I don't think I used white. I think I used dark pecan pie. Okay. All right, and then, let's see. I'm going to come in and do my door in my dark pecan pie. And then I'm going to come in with my light pecan pie and I'm just going to do a couple spots here in the door. It is going to lighten that up some. And then I think, let's see, this part here. This is my deep 200. And we'll come under here with this. Oops. Just a spot. And then dark pecan pie. Kind of blend that out. All right, so now the stone part and the steps of our church, we're going to do that in our gray granite. So I got my light and I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and then I'm going to take my dark gray granite and I'm just going to add some shadows there and kind of go into that second step there. All right, so now the rest of the building itself, I am going to fill in using ivory. I think I'll come in with a little bit of ivory in my door as well. Yvonne's being destructive over there. She breaking things. All right. Get under our window. All right. And then for my shadow, I believe I used the light pecan pie. And just add a little bit. We're going to blend this out with our, going over it with our ivory. So, how's my brush tip? I don't know how my brush tip looks. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here and add some over here. And then we'll come up here and add some up here. The ivory, I mean, it looks, I wouldn't say it's pinkish. I mean, it's light. I know one of the skin tone ones that we have, I know that one of those ends up looking more pink. All right, let's do over on this side. Okay, I got that. Now let's go back up here and kind of blend this out. And then the only thing we got left to do to this church is to do our stained glass. Our stained glass windows. And it's dark. Light gray granite. I see a little white spot right here. Fill that in. Okay, so now the windows, we're going to do the same thing. Now I want this to dry a little bit because I am going to stamp that little cross on our church. I wanted to stamp it after because sometimes with the alcohol ink, when you color over your stamped lines, sometimes it makes those stamped lines look like they're bleeding. So I'm going to just let that dry before I stamp over it. All right, so just like I did on the first card, I'm going to use the bullet tip of my Stampin' Blend marker. Just hold it there for a moment because it'll actually put like a bigger dot of ink on it. So that's light real red. This is the light Darling Duckling. And light lemon lime twist. All right, and then light blueberry bushel. Do over here. Okay, and then light berry burst. Okay, and then there's a little empty spot right there, so I am going to use my light darling duckling just to kind of fill in any little white spots. All right, then there's the little tiny cross stamp in here, and let me get a block and my early espresso ink. Ink this up, and we'll stamp that right there. Let's see, what's everybody saying? Sick of winter. I should start my Christmas cards. I always run out of time in December. You know, I realized when I pulled out all my Christmas cards, I got enough to last me probably for the next 5 years. I probably don't even have to make any more, but you know, there's going to be more when we get closer to that time. Plus, I do that monthly Christmas card inspiration too. Froggy, I aim to make 10 Christmas cards per month. I am well stocked for October when the Christmas craft sales start. Good idea, Froggy. Stay ahead. Yeah, I try to stay ahead. I'll tell you what, I got so many cards out there. I could like not make any more cards anymore and I'd have enough. Let's see. A super pale petal pink. It's pot. Yeah, it's close. It's close, Froggy. Debbie's already got 40 done of her Christmas cards. All right, so now let's build up our scene here. So first I'm going to glue down my ink blended panel. So I'm using a little bit more glue on this because of that embossed piece. I want to make sure that this is going to stick down. So I'll center that like so. Press that down. All right, then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my pieces. Let's see. All right, so we're going to take one, put that there. And then I'm going to put another little piece down there just to kind of hold that down. So let's see, let's get some back. And let's see, get my piece from my Take Your Pick tool. pull out a small one to put right up there. And then I do have a sheet over here. My new scissors. Aren't they cool? Got them off of Amazon. Yeah, I'm going to cut. I don't believe it. That there's something wrong with it. It shut off and then it came right back on again.
I noticed that.
It did that before, and you know how it'd run maybe not even a minute. It shut off. A couple seconds later, it would kick back on, and it would keep doing that. Oh, I had to say something at the leasing office because it's very annoying, especially when it's outside my window and it's nighttime and I'm in bed. I don't want to listen to that. It's bad enough I don't get enough sleep. Yeah, because evidently they don't say, they don't tell the leasing office when something's wrong, evidently. All right. You know what, Deborah, I find that by doing different kinds, because here's my thought, Stampin' Up! Comes out with all these different sets that are like really, really cool that I end up getting. And it's like, I just feel like it's like if I made like 100+ cards, which was what I was doing, you know, prior to doing like the videos, that I found if I did it all with the same stamp set, I would get bored with it. And then I wouldn't be getting them done as quickly. So that's why I like to do a variety of them. All right, I'll do like maybe 10 or 12 of each design. All right, so I'm going to place my church right there. Take my little bush here, and we'll put that right over here. And then my tree will go on the other side. I'll place that right over right there. Now to add some sparkle to it. So again, where is my Wink of Stella? We're going to do all our windows. And we'll do this window up here. Okay, got that. Now the embellishments that I'm using on this one, these are the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. And you don't see it in the packaging, but up here on the very top are some white ones. So where's my little take your pick tool? So there's two different sizes of these. So I'll take my larger one. I'll place that right here. And then my two smaller ones will go right there. Okay, let me get this back in here. Come on, get in there. Get in there. These passport holders is what I put my carded embellishments in. Some of them I do have to trim them down in order to fit in here, but I find that they're a good solution when it comes to storing them. All right, there is the second card. So building a scene, adding our stained glass windows, and yeah, there's our second card. All right, now let's pull in for the first card. I'm just going to be honest, I think that all of the cards are really cute. I don't think I need, let's see, what do I got here? I used gray granite, I think, on that one, or no. I used Smoky Slate. So let me pull those out. Oh, that's black. Smoky Slate. Oh, wait a minute. No, I use gray granite. Actually, gray granite is lighter than Smoky Slate. And then what I'm just looking to see what I used here. So I have my light lemon lime twist. And what else did I use? I think what did I use? I think I used dark granny apple green. And then light pecan pie. Yeah, light pecan pie. Is that it? No. Light darling duckling. I think that's the final answer. Oh, and my color lifter. All right, so we got those blends. Running out of room. Slowly getting closed in. All right. So this one we're bringing in some designer series paper because, you know, got to use the paper. I mean, there's a lot of paper laying around this studio. Got to start using it. All right. So again, my card base is basic white thick. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of lovely and beautiful specialty designer series paper. Let me grab that really quick. Look at this one, fussy cutting. For some reason, Yvonne likes the fussy cut.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, you like doing, you're doing how many of those? How many of those you cutting?
This is the last one.
Oh, it's the last one, but you cut 3 of them.
Actually, 2 of them.
So what Yvonne is doing, and you know, it's a good idea. What she's doing is she's taking paper pumpkin kits that she has, and what she's doing is she's really making it go further. So she's taking the card bases and she's cutting them in half, and then she's creating more cards. And then some things, you know, she's trimming out. She's doing some stamping. So she's creating like a whole bunch of cards, a lot more than what you would create in the actual kit. So this paper that I'm using, I did use this in a live. It was the Lovely and Beautiful suite. So you have some of your, you know, like your springy type, like this pattern would have worked really well. But for some reason, I just happened to go through this, and that's the one that I saw. So that's the one I decided that we were going to be using for this card. So this is going to fit the whole front of our card. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then this, I believe, is the second largest of the Everyday Arches dies. Now these dies, these are carrying over, so these are actually in the new catalog that's going to be coming out in May. I will mention that if you are here in the US, if you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like a paper copy of that new catalog, that'll go live on May 5th, I believe. My email, it is in the description. Just send me an email with your full name and mailing address, and I'd be more than happy to get one mailed out to you. Actually, as soon as I end up getting it, which it should be soon. I did order some, it just hasn't shipped yet, so it'll be soon. Okay, so the Everyday Arches, I believe this is the second largest die. We got the Lovely and Beautiful Designer Series paper. I do have a strip of basic white. This is about 4 inches by 1/2 of an inch. And then on my basic white scrap pieces, everything here, so I have 2 trees, 2 of these bushes, and my church. All of these were stamped using the basic gray ink. All right, so let's take our card base. We'll fold and burnish this. And let's see, where's my bone folder? Right there. And we'll get our liquid glue. And I'm going to add my glue to my card base, since this is going to be the full size of my card. All right, get my paper. And I'm going to line that up. Okay. Press that down. Okay, then I'm going to set that aside. On my little greeting strip here, I'm going to pull in my basic white ink. And I am going to use for my greeting, let me take these stamps off. Hold on. Kind of move some things here. Let's see. Yeah, right. I'm taking the stamp off. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, so what I'm going to bring in, we actually used this last Friday. So the Easter basket bundle, well, this is the Easter basket stamp set. I think this stamp set is still available. Let me check. What on earth why did this thing open in a whole nother window? My laptop doing crazy things. So the stamp set, this is still available. It's on the last chance. Unfortunately, the Easter basket dies are gone. I'm going to use this Happy Easter greeting from this set. I wanted to try and stick with Easter on these cards, since, well, this video was going to be a Good Friday video, but since we're kind of in between Good Friday and Easter or Resurrection Sunday, we're going to kind of stick with the whole Easter theme. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp it right here in the middle. Okay. Close this up. I'm going to need this again because, like my last card, I'm going to stamp my cross on the church, but I don't, when I go to use my color lifter, I don't want it to kind of mess up the image. All right, so I am going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut either end at an angle. Let's see, right about there. Okay, so now I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that aside. And then, let's see, what do we want to do first? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to color my images first, and then our arch die here, we're going to do some ink blending on this. But we'll color these in first, because this is more of our tedious part, and we'll do this and then we'll just, the ink blending will go pretty quickly. Okay, so now with this church is going to be, basically it's going to be gray and white. I'm going to use my light Darling Duckling and I'm going to color in my windows. Okay, and this one up here. I didn't think of it. I could have colored one of these churches the color mine is now. Our church don't look like this. Our church is like a metal shed. But I love our metal shed. Because when I was cleaning it, and sometimes it would be by myself, yeah, I was very thankful that we don't have a huge church. I like the size we got. All right, so I am going to take, let's see, my dark gray granite, and I'm going to do my roof pieces here. Turn this. And where else up here? All right. And then I will do the detail on the stone after. Just looking at my sample card. Oh, and our door frame. And we'll do this second step. All right, and then my light gray granite. Come in. And our steps. All right, and let's see, we're going to do our door. And then I'm going to come in like on that last one that we did. So where there's going to be shadows, I'm going to take my light gray granite, kind of create my shadows. And then I'm going to come in with my color lifter, and I'm going to kind of blend those out. Yeah, let's see. All right. Color lifter. Which one do I want? Okay, so I'm going to come in. I'm just going to go in a circular motion and go around, and actually I need it to come down the sides here. All right. Okay, and then put that out a little bit more. All right, and then dark gray granite, going to add some of that. All right, and now I am going to take my color lifter and just go over a couple of spots of the door. Then, let's see, let's do our trees. And so the trunks of my tree, I'm going to use dark pecan pie. Did I use dark or I use light? No, I think I used light. I used light. You want light. Light. This is more of our pastel, our bright pastel card. Okay. And then I'm going to do, what is this? This is light lemon lime twist. And fill this all in. Okay, and then this one. Well, I guess it's a good sign that I'm not hearing any thunder. I'm not hearing any rain hitting the window. I'm not hearing the wind blowing out there. Unless it's all going to happen later on. Actually, I don't even think I ever heard any thunder today. All right. And bring our smaller ones in. Right. Then I'm going to take, let's see, my dark granny apple green. And then these like detailed lines. Did I do it in this color? I don't know if I did it in this color. I may have done it in the light. But this will be okay. I mean, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. Well, somebody's up there. Okay. All right. And I think we're done with the coloring now. Okay, so let me take these, put these aside. I'm gonna take my cross, my church. Got my cross, basic gray ink, and we'll add our cross right there. get that out of the way. We'll move that. We got all our colored images, so we're going to put that aside. And then we are going to basically do to this what we did with our last card. So my brush for my green, and I want both my Granny Apple Green and Balmy Blue ink. And let's see, Granny Apple. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here. Let's see where that lays. Okay, oh, there is something that I do need to stamp before I go and I do that that Balmy Blue. So I think I mentioned before that with the swirl designs, that there was a stamp that I used that when I used this on the first card, for some reason, Berry Burst did not look like Berry Burst. It looked kind of dark, whereas when I used the brush, it looked much brighter. But before I did that card, I brought this in. And do I have it out? Let's just check. I don't think I do. So I'm going to bring, when I saw, yeah, I evidently do have it out because it's not in the thing. So when I saw this stamp, I thought that this would be, if I could find the stamp, there it is, that this would make a perfect sun in my background. So I'm going to take my block. Okay. And then I am going to bring in, where is it? Lemon Lolly ink. Squeaky. All right. So I'm going to take my cross. I'm going to put my cross, my church. And I'll put that right there. Okay. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Okay, I'm going to kind of eyeball this. And I want to stamp this right here. Okay. So that's kind of like my sun in the background there. And then I'm going to carefully go around my sun with the Balmy Blue ink. Okay. Let's turn this way. Oh my gosh. Again. Turn that thing off. If that thing catches on fire, but then again, if it just dies, that would not be a bad thing. I'm not going to pray for it. I'm just going to say I'm not going to pray for it because mine could go out. Not that mine gets used as much, but we don't want to pray that his goes out and then mine goes out. So I'm not going to pray that. Because I don't think God will answer that prayer. All right, so I have my blue sky around my sun. All right, so let me get this out of the way. We're done with all these ink pads. Let's get our brushes out of the way. We'll bring that in. Let's bring in our card. I am going to get my liquid glue. Oh, they're home. All right, and then I'm going to center this like so. I'm going to turn this over and do it this way. Wait, let me see. What am I missing here? So Froggy said, question, does anyone know where the Holy Saturday thing came from? I haven't heard of it until 2 or 3 days ago. Tracy, I haven't heard of it either. Froggy said, the Google search just brought up AI stuff. I don't believe AI at all, so I am left wondering what Holy Saturday is. Sharon, I don't remember, but now I will have to look it up. I went to Catholic school my first years and would think I would remember. You know, I'm thinking that that's probably a Catholic thing too. Let's see. Christian Digest just says the day between Jesus's crucifixion and his resurrection, a day of silence waiting for him to come again. Silent Saturday. Oh, all right. Let's run the vacuum cleaner. What color did I use for the sun? It is lemon lolly. I used lemon lolly on that. All right. And I also used the swirled designs stamp to do that. I saw that and I just thought of, I just saw like a sunrise. All right. So then I'm going to take, so these trees are actually going to be glued down. They're not going to be popped up. I'm going to place my church where I want it. Okay. Get my glue. And I think I need to minimize, I need to close that. I don't need that open. Minimize it. I can't see what I'm doing. All right. So add some glue. All right. So my church is going to go there. Oh, don't put it over the top of it. So I'm going to put this tree right about there. Okay, my other tree. I got to refill this bottle. All right, and then I'm going to kind of eyeball this, kind of look at where my other tree is. I'm going to put it in the same spot over here. Then we're going to pop up our church after I get the glue off of there. Dimensionals. All right, we don't need that. Got a little one that we'll put up here. Can this kid find another room to run in? Or better yet, just don't run. You would think that they would take him out someplace where, like to a park or something. Let him run himself tired. Apartment's not that big. All right. He's probably hyped up on candy. All right. It was interesting. So, and I don't know if, here where I live, if they're going to realize, what they had done. But so the apartment complex that I live in, they had planned to do like an Easter egg hunt and, have like games and stuff like that for the kids. And they were going to do it today. However, because we were getting the rain and storms, they went and postponed it. So the kids here, again, in my opinion, end up with more days off from school than they're actually in school. So they had Friday off and they also have Monday off. So they plan to reschedule it from 11 a.m. to 1 or 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday when they're back in school. And they don't get out till like 2:30. Sometimes, they get home a little bit later. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So I wonder if there'll be another text message that said, oops, we made a mistake. Yeah. Okay, so then these little bushes here, we're going to put a dimensional on the back of these. And then I'm going to add them right over here. Kind of pop that under. And then this one will go over here, like so. And then our Happy Easter. Is it Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Dawn. And then we'll add 3 dimensionals on our greeting piece. Get rid of that. And we will center that. Whoa, stay put. We'll put that right there. And then, of course, we got to add a little bit of Winkostella. And we're going to add this on our windows. And then we do have one final thing to add. And for this one, we're going to use, these are going away. These have been marked down a little bit. These are the in color flat pearls. These are the in colors that are retiring. These are the 2024 to 2026 in color flat pearls. Now, this, I don't think, hold on, let me see. So the color in the paper is actually fresh freesia. It's not petunia pop. So it's a little bit darker, but it still works. Now, because there's so much going on in all these other spots, and then there's not a whole lot of space, I'm gonna just kind of leave my my image here as is, and then I'm going to take these, and there's 3 different sizes of these, and I'm going to add them this upper left hand corner like so. Okay, there is our 3rd card. Let me kind of get this stuff out of the way. So there is our 3rd card. So a lot of pastel and brightness and spring brightness on this one. Let's see, the 2nd card that we had made is this one right here, where we did the ink blending for our embossed piece of pecan pie. And then we again did another scene using the balmy blue and granny apple green. And then that one stamp that's part of the swirled designs, added my blades of grass in there. And then, of course, we got our little stained glass windows on our church. And then our first one, we have this nice bright pink sky behind our church. A lot of like your black and white with your pops of color and the stained glass windows, which I think is a really really nice effect on this. And then the piece I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, John 14:27. That comes from, it's a $1 Million Achiever stamp set. It is the prayers and promises. Okay, so there's our 3 cards. So I'm going to tidy up here a little tiny bit because everything is like all over the place. I need to bring in my laptop. So what I'm going to be doing is the card drawing here in a moment. If you haven't already done so, I do have it linked at the top and pinned up at the top of the chat box. There's a link that will take you to a Google spreadsheet where you can add your name to it. I'm going to take those names and I'm going to add them to a wheel of names. And then, yeah, we'll do the drawing for one of tonight's cards. Now, it does not matter where you live. If you're if you're outside of the US, that's fine. Cards I can mail anywhere. Product is not what I can send anywhere other than here in the US. So, if you have any problems at all adding your name, please say something in the chat and somebody would be more than happy to add your name. So I'm just kind of tidying this space up just a little bit. Let me get these brushes out of the way. All right, move all these stamp sets. Throw that away. Move that. Move this out of the way. Okay. I'll grab a little thing here. And my pen. These stamps. Let's get these out of the way. All right. Oh, Miss Terry's here. Hello, Terry. Okay. Yep, I tried to change up the colors of these churches with this, and I am completely crooked. Let's fix that. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right, so let's see what our spreadsheet looks like. So we got Tracy, Becky, Carol, Avery, Sharon, Deborah, Froggy, and Terry. Is there anybody else? Yvonne?
No.
No. I think we do got everybody. I think we do. So let me take these names. Let's add them to this. Let's close the ads on this. We don't want to see those. All right. Okay, so so who I have here, Tracy, Becky, Carol, Avery, Sharon, Deborah, Froggy, and Terry. That's who I have added to the wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these up. I'm going to disconnect the laptop, move the lights out of the way, bring this in. And I got all my little sticky notes here with names on them. All right. So let's go ahead and So did Enika, did she leave us? I know it's really late at night where she's at. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it's late. I know it's okay. I know it's really late where she is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spin this wheel and then we'll wrap up. We've been going for quite a while here. I gotta have dinner. I gotta get this stuff finished up and get ready to get up early in the morning to be at church by 7. Froggy. Which card would you like, Froggy? Well, you know, Froggy's still here. She said hi to Terry. You're still way behind. Card number 3. Okay, you got it. All right. So card number 1 and card number 2. Ooh, Carol. Okay. Number 1, okay. Bear with me a second here. Now I got a sticky note in here with your name on it. There it is. So the first one. Okay. And then our final card will go to Tracy. All right. So let me put that there. Okay, and let me go back here and move this out of the way, and we'll wrap things up. So hopefully you guys up there in Ohio, you're not getting really bad weather. I know these storms were kind of coming here up that direction, and so if you're in the path of any storms, please be safe. Again, thank you for joining me. You actually got a live from me and not a kind of live, which was what I was originally going to do yesterday, but we made out I had an opportunity and a chance to wear those sparkly purple bunny ears again for the second week. So everybody, again, thank you for joining me. If you like the projects, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're joining me and you're new to my channel, lots of video content out there. Check it out. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hit the little notification bell. It'll let you know when I have posted a video or when I go live. Again, the information, I got some that's in the description of this video. I am going to update it with the list of the supplies, and then I'm also going to be creating what do you call it, the PDF. So I do a PDF that's free for all of you on every like Friday or Saturday live. Uh, I'm going to be working on that too. It will have a date and a link, and if you click on it, it's going to take you right back to this video. It'll have pictures of the projects, the list of supplies, the dimensions, and all of that. Um, that bullet point is that little bullet point right above the list of supplies is where that link is. So I'm going to get that done. Also, my newsletter, I'm going to be working on that as well. If you would like to receive my monthly newsletter, I typically only do one near the beginning of the month. Maybe I do another one in the event Stampin' Up! Has some kind of promotion that goes on that we weren't aware of at the beginning of the month when I sent it out. But other than that, that's the only time that I'm sending them out. I don't bombard you with emails every single day. So if you would like to receive my newsletter, it has my whole video schedule on there. The link for that is also in the description. When you click on that, you just simply add your name and email address, and then when I go to send it out, you will get it. So everybody have a wonderful Easter or Resurrection Sunday. Um, just have a wonderful, enjoyable time with family and with the Lord if you are a believer. And I will see you next Friday. It'll actually be Friday, and I will be using that Extraordinary Flora bundle that's from the annual catalog, our current annual catalog, with that really pretty floral washi tape. Didn't use it. I've had it for a long time, but now I think it is retiring, so I am going to bring it out and I am going to use that for next Friday. So thank you again so much, everyone, for joining me tonight, and I will see you next Friday. Everyone, have a blessed one. Bye bye.